All right, our next presentation, very cool animal. In fact, I just spent some of my spring break taking Malachi to feed him. A peacock. Let's welcome Miss Bella Naharo.
Okay, I'm Bella and I did my presentation on the peacock. And so their scientific name is Pavlocristatus. Their kingdom is Animalia. Their phylum is Chordata. Their class is Avis. Their order is Galliformes, and their family is Phasianidae or whatever. And their genus is Pavo, and their species is Pavlocristatus. And there are 3 different species. The first one is the Indian/blue peafowl, the green peafowl, and the Congo peafowl. And peafowl is also a different name for the peacock. So the physical characteristics. Their weight is 8.75 to 13 pounds. Their body length is 30 to 50 inches. And their lifespan is about 20 years. Their appearance. The Indian and green peafowls have a crust around their eye, and it's like made of feathers, and it's in the shape of a fan. And at the top of their head, like right here, it's like a crust, and it has like sticks, and it looks like there's dots on the top. And their pelage, their feathers, when the light is shown on the feathers, if you look closely, there are various different colors. Like here, it looks like a rainbow. The distribution of the bird. So they usually live in places in southern Asia, such as India, Sri Lanka, Java, and Burma, or Myanmar. Their habitat. They usually live above sea level just because of the woods and trees and places to clean themselves and an open area. So like here, there's trees and open area, same here. Their conservation status. They're somewhat endangered, but there wasn't in like IUR or whatever. But if they were, they would be for hunting their feathers and pesticides. And supposedly there's a disease going around that is newly discovered but is unnamed, where it like starts at the throat, and then a day by day a lump begins to grow, and then it bursts. It's really disgusting. And then a worm comes out, and then they get blind and die. It's really disgusting. And then these are two different charts. One showing how close they are to human settlement, and one showing how close they are to water. This one, for example, it shows like not even one. You wouldn't find like one peacock within 2 miles. Overall, you wouldn't find any more than 2 peacocks within 10 miles, and you wouldn't even find like one within 10 miles in distance to water. And their reproductive characteristics. So the females choose their mates based on their size and vibrant colors, and when it comes to breed, the male gives big loud cries and like flies over there. And if the female bends down, the mating begins, and the female usually has about 3 to 6 eggs, or 4 to 6 eggs, and each egg hatches individually with 20 days in between. And this is a chart showing how the females usually choose, mainly it's just giving an example of how they usually choose the big ones, like the big men. Chicks. What? That's what they're called? The chicks.
Bella, I'm sorry, can you go back? I just wanted to check out that chart real quick. I just was interested in it. Awesome. Alright, you can keep going. Cool.
Okay. Parental care. When the parents take care of the pea chicks, they teach them what wise choices to make and what food to eat and how to eat, and they always walk around with them. And usually the female takes care of it more than the male. And their longevity and mortality. So again, they usually live for 20 years, and there isn't really a difference between the male and female, but if there was, I would assume it was the male because he's bigger, and it's because of the strength in the train, and the train is like the tail that poofs up. And their seasonal patterns. They do not have any seasonal patterns, nor they don't hibernate either. So, but they do move to places if the temperature drops below 40 degrees, or they go underneath trees and bushes. And their dietary habits, they usually eat wheat, reeders, pellets, They also eat like berries and other kinds of fruits. Predator relationships. The predators are tigers, birds, and dogs, and their prey is insects and snakes, but those are not big threats to their conservation. The human relationships, usually if you have, like, some people have them as pets, which is really weird, but if you were supposed to, you have to take care of them, and because they're very delicate and they want to be loved and cared for. And they are used by humans because of their feathers, and the feathers are used for, like, jewelry and purses and clothing and more. And if a peacock is kept in captivity, it's most likely to live longer because it's a safer environment and they're like fed, so they don't have to fight for their own food. Fun facts. Okay. According to Greek mythology, the peacock was a physical representation of Hera, which is the queen of gods. Peacocks were brought to Egypt by the Phoenicians about 3,000 years ago. They are hunted for their flesh and adored by their beauty and colors, feathers, and the way they were built. Oh, dang it. Okay. That's my works cited. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go, Bella!
Questions for Bella. Let's see, Bella. First one I have for you is, what other birds is it most closely related to? Just other peafowls?
It's just other peafowls, like the Indian and the peafowl, the Congo, and the green ones.
And then, were there any differences between the males and the females?
Oh yeah, the male is usually just bigger and more vibrant colors.
Okay.
No,
I'll let Ryan go.
Ryan.
So about the eggs, so they hatch 21 days.
Like, so say she has like 6 eggs. One hatches, and then 21 days later another hatches, and then 21 days later another. Yeah. Any more questions?
So how long do the babies stay with their parents?
I didn't really find any information on that.
And then, was there any difference in mortality based on captivity?
What?
Like, you said, I think they live 20 years, is that right?
Yeah, they live 20 years.
Is that in the wild, or is that...
In the wild, and in the wild they're carnivorous, and then, I don't